Hello! Today we are going to have a look at Castle Morne from a level design and world design perspective. Castle Morne is located at the very southern part of the Weeping Peninsula, right at this position over here, and it looks much bigger than it really is. Like, when I first played through the game, then I was like, ooh, that looks interesting, but once I got into it, I got a bit disappointed. So let's have a look from the outside first, because once we're inside, I don't actually know where we are playing. Up there, maybe? I don't know. We will see. So from the outside, it looks pretty good, right? We have a big plateau that the castle is built upon, and then this part on the front is basically just the gate. When we have a closer look, you can see the plateau itself there, and this is just like a gate front, something like this, right? But we have a staircase, and if you've watched the other videos, then I'm not a fan of staircases, and you know that, right? Because you have a big-ass castle, and somehow you need to get food or other material in the castle, right? So how are you going to do this? Usually by a wagon, right? You put stuff on a wagon, and then a bull or something is dragging, or is dragging the wagon, right? But they can't go upstairs. It would be a bit too harsh. So you basically have to park the wagon outside and then carry everything inside. From a world design, but from a world design, what am I talking about right now? Let me gather myself here. From a defensive point, this is quite interesting, because let's just imagine you're the defender and you have to defend against an army, right? And against an army, you could say, where's the army coming from? The army is coming from the north, right? Then you have this part over here. There is a whole wall here, walling in this whole area. But let's say the army got through this wall and you're prepared, right? Then I don't want to be a soldier stationed out here, because yes, you can hold them off a little bit, you can shoot at them, whatever, right? But once they're up here, you're basically dead. Like, or you have to run back, and then there's the possibility that an arrow hits you, right? Of course, we have all these nice walls, where I would rather be stationed, but nope, not right here. But something that I've already discussed in other videos, these crenellations here, again, they make no sense again. I mean, they make sense, but it's not efficient enough, right? First of all, this is the only place you can stand where you can't get shot. Here you can get headshotted, and here, well, you see yourself, right? So these arrow slits are to shoot out of, and then you can't really take cover here. I mean, you have to crouch, and then, I mean, you either want to have arrow slits or you want to have crenellations. But for the crenellations, these gaps here need to be lower, though, so that you can actually shoot through them, right? And you have no way of closing off this one. Actually, you do have a way. I mean, you can push these things in front, which is a possibility, and then you're a bit safer. Let's keep on going, because I'm going to say this again. You can't get into these walls because there's actually no fucking door. In these games, I don't know why this room even exists. I mean, there's some equipment in here, but I wonder if they've designed this room so that they can put in the grace there. Because let's say you have the layout of the map. Where would you put the grace? Right in front of, or right here where it is right now, or inside this room? I mean, if we already have a room, then why not put the grace in here, right? And this room is way too small. There's doors missing, second rooms missing, but here's nothing in this room, not even a chest, nothing. So, even from a level design perspective, I don't know why this room even exists. It serves no purpose. And this is what I mean, right? This is level design versus world design, right? Let's just imagine you have established this world right now, and you want to build this castle. Then do you want to put something in this room? Do you want to make this room bigger? If you want to make this room bigger, then you better put something in the room, because if the player goes through all of that and there's nothing there, that would be a bit underwhelming, right? And I don't think there's a secret here, right? I haven't checked this before, but there's there's not even a what's it called, illusory wall, something like this, nothing. So basically the whole front here, all of this isn't accessible, neither by the player nor by possible offenders. But then we have these nice things. So let's just imagine somehow you can get behind these walls, on top of these walls, whatsoever. There's somewhere a door, right? Let's just imagine there was one. Then I really like that you have this death box, basically. So when the enemy comes in, then what? Then they're getting bombarded from every side. You can drop stones or logs. You can release this one, then shit drops down on top of them. You can release stuff that's in there. Although this looks more like stuff where you can put archers in, right? This looks actually like something where you can hide, where you can shoot out of. And this looks more like something that has something in it, like stones, boulders, whatever. And then that you can release to drop onto the heads of enemies. But let's actually get into the castle, because this is quite interesting and also stupid. And also good, so good, stupid and interesting, all of that. Because this is clearly in the rock itself, and we have an elevator. Do I like this idea? I actually do like this idea, because it's already hard enough to carry stuff up here, and then you have an elevator here, right? Why not make it complicated as fuck, right? So, but again, elevators, I'm not a fan of these elevators, because they make no sense. When you go over here, this shit should, shouldn't be stable. It would fall off when you go this one, right? Then the pressure plate, again, makes no sense. How does this pressure plate work? It is connected to nothing. It's just a gameplay mechanic, right? So, but it looks like a mechanism. It really looks like a mechanism, or something that someone can spin so that the elevator is being lowered, or the opposite of that. So where are we actually? We are on the very top, right? Yeah, this is the very top part. So we are already at this. So we go up here. We're in the courtyard right now, Castle Morne right now, and Castle Morne is basically just this little part here, and a bit here. But it's really not that big. Let's see if we have a better look from here. Yeah, there we can see all these wall parts that are not utilized. One of these archer towers, I just call them archer towers, I don't know. They remind me of towers that are in Age of Empires, if you played it. Age of Empires 2. So I call them archer towers. I don't know why this even exists, like, why is this a bit higher up. I guess again, you can defend it a bit better. You have arrow slits to the inside and also murder holes down there. These are just reused assets. I would reuse them as well, right? Like, here we have murder holes that make no sense because they're horizontally. But don't think too hard about it, and it's fine. The idea is what counts, right? And let's not forget the fact that there are a lot of burned and dead corpses here. Like, look at this pile here. This is all... Apparently, this is all supposed to be corpses. And this is a bit silly, right? Because you can't tell me that there are so many people living in Castle Morne. That is just a ridiculous amount of people. If all of this is people, and all of these are like bodies, like holy shit. And let's go away here for a second because that's quite loud. Yeah, these are misbegotten, and for lore reasons they basically revolted because they were held as slaves or something like this. And now they turned the tables and killed all of them. They basically took over the whole castle itself. And it looks quite impressive because this might actually be the most realistic looking castle in the game. Because what other castles do we have? Like, is this a castle? Redmane Castle? Actually, Redmane Castle is also one of the good ones, but this one is more down to earth, I think, at least in my opinion. Although, maybe not. You could argue about this, but what do we have here? We have Castle Stormvale, which is a bit too grandiose, right? And then, no, this is one of the best castles from the outside, at least. Not from a level design, in my opinion. Because, look at this, like, all these nice towers. I really like square towers. I don't know why. Not really a fan of round towers. But it looks solid. And let's just continue. We have now two ways, and this is again silly parts here, these wooden structures. Like, why do they even exist? We come to that later. Level design wise, big courtyard with a few enemies, so you can rush in and get ganked by all of them, or you can pull them out one by one. It's up to you. All very basic misbegotten enemies, and one, I think they're called scaly misbegotten, the bigger ones with the axe. And now we have two ways that we can go. We can go this way over here to the Mad Pumpkinhead, or we can go up there, which is a bit more hidden, and which is basically a reward for killing all of them. At least that's how I see it. So let's go this way. And I like that they have barricades on top of bodies. That's gruesome. Let's just say, where's this broken off of? Because this was there was some kind of structure here. Like maybe a second thingy like this? I don't know. Looks weird. Looks a bit weird because let's just imagine there was a structure right here. Oh, maybe no, there wasn't a structure. This was part of a wall. There was another wall part here. Because this one is raised here. And the ground, like, this all, but holy shit, that's a lot of dead bodies. But let's go in here. Let's see what's in here. In here is a fairly well hidden chest. It's fairly well hidden. I mean, you can hear it. That's the sound the chest makes, right? Very interesting. There's a good item in there. You might want to open this. And this is just a weapon storage room. I don't know why they need so many weapons. And again, we have these winged imagery, like Storm King winged imagery, like in Stormvale Castle. And then I don't really know what this part is. Can they please shut up? It's just a tower part. Broken off tower part. But there's a wall missing. Like, I would indicate a wall, broken off wall over here. Maybe it's indicated by these stones, but they could have also fallen down from up there. But these wooden constructs here are a bit silly. Because then you make your wall useless, right? Let's just climb up here. I don't get why these exist. And they've built this part with the wooden structure in mind, which is very strange, I must say. So you have a wooden structure with a ladder on it, a very high up ladder. I wouldn't want to climb up there. Facing the side where the enemies can come from, so it's not even protected, from a platform that is not defended by crenellations, walls, whatever, leading up here, and they have, like, they've built this with this wooden structure in mind. And I don't get that. I don't know if real castles have these things, but it looks silly to me. It really looks silly to me. And let's keep in mind where we are facing. This is now the south, right? And this is the north. This is where the entrance looks. So, and here again, to get on top of the wall, we have to climb a ladder. You don't want to have this. You want to have some kind of staircase leading up there. Some kind of staircase. You could start up down there and then work your way up here to get to this tower. It's not important that this exact part is raised. Like, come on. And then this leads into a... Well, let's just imagine there was a door in here, which leads to a tower, which is fine. But having these wooden structures is a bit silly. And again, I appreciate that they have double crenellations, like to the outside and to the inside. And to the inside it actually makes sense, because then when your troops are stationed on top of the walls and the enemy somehow gets into the castle, into the courtyard, then you can safely shoot back, or safely in quotations, because when you can shoot at the enemy, they can shoot at you. It's just a bit harder for them, but it's not impossible. So what's up here is pretty interesting, because we have soldiers of Godric fighting the Misbegotten. I mean, they start basically fighting once the player is close by, but because I'm currently invisible, they're not fighting each other. So here another tower that we can't get into. Just indicate, like, looks so silly. We have arrow slits, and the tower is like walled shut. It's just silly. Let's just appreciate how the... Wait, wasn't a camera shake there? What? First of all, what is he hacking at? Shouldn't he stand over this body? I think they've misplaced this one. Because there are some flash sounds here. I think he's supposed to be hacking on this body, but then I think the item would have been too hidden, so the players could think, why would I go there? There's just a dude. Then we have, like, gallows. Are these gallows? I don't... why would you even have them here? Like, why? Like, you're just losing your wall. Maybe this is just for intimidation, but then why aren't they facing the actual side enemies can come from? I don't get it. I wouldn't want so many gallows, but maybe these are used for something else and the Misbegotten just hanged them there because this was like there. This was existent. So let's have a look here. Where are we right now? This is the courtyard. This is where all of these dudes are with the big fire. Let's just imagine how bad this smells now. All the burnt flesh and burnt hair and whatever. Ah, just disgusting. Let's go on top of this nonsensical wall piece here. Because how are you going to carry these barrels up? Oh, I don't care. Like, let's go down here. And we are basically at the part where the... above the... what's it called? The mad pumpkin head. The pumpkin head dude is underneath us right there. Then we just have to go this way and again climb up a ladder. Like, is a ladder really the only thing that you can take to climb up these walls? How do you even put these tables up here if you have to carry them by the ladder? This is why I want like big doorways. You could have put a big doorway with shut door here, like, and somewhere down there. That wouldn't be so hard. And because this is what I mean with it's much smaller than it looked from the outside, right? Because we are already almost, we are halfway through the whole level. Right? This is just a bit silly. Here we have a nice little ambush. Here we get introduced, like, they introduce these guys and they're very irritating because they shoot arrows at you very fast and they can fly, so not my favorite enemy type. Then we have a ladder going down to a wooden structure, not even on the wall itself, to get on this wall. A wooden bridge leading on to this tower. And now the most stupid thing, we have to drop down to get to this grace. But we are not going to right now because the level goes on. Let's just jump down here. They could have easily put a staircase in this tower and out of this, like, or even they could have put the ladder like here. They don't. Why have they built this wooden structure? And this is so silly. There is a wooden structure. There's the ladder that leads on top of this well-built wooden structure. Then we have this not very clean looking bridge part here, then another wooden structure, and then this wall was clearly a wall. Like, there wasn't a gap here. So you would climb down this ladder to get to these wooden structures, and then what? Then you have to climb over this wall? Of course it's broken down now, but... what? Here we have, again, soldiers fighting the Misbegotten. Very nice, very nice. Let's just imagine they are actually fighting. And this is just an insult, in my opinion. This is insulting. Like, we have this tower, very big tower, but there isn't a door with a staircase inside the tower. No, there is a staircase outside the tower. Like, what? First of all, that is dangerous. There is not even something you can hold on to, right? If you slip, you're dead. Congratulations, you just yeeted yourself like 100 meters down there. You're dead. No chance of survival whatsoever. How are you carrying these things? And it's constantly raining, so this is slippery. It's called Weeping Peninsula for some reason, right? For a reason. Because it's raining all the time. And they had the audacity to build their staircase to this tower, basically one of their main towers, because it's facing the actual enemy. Like, outside? What is this nonsense? No wonder they all died, right? Like, just put a door in this tower and make a staircase up here. Is it so heavy? So heavy. Is it so hard? And then they have tents here in the direction of the enemy. So you can't even station troops here. I don't get it. Here we have the only useless dude here. What's his name? I don't care. He's basically staying here because his fancy sword is stolen and he does nothing about it other than crying. And he sends his daughter away alone. Not alone, but his daughter away to get to safety whatsoever. Edgar, that's his name, Edgar. And he just sits here and cries, whatever, I don't know. Can you actually summon him for the upcoming boss fight? Because I haven't seen a summon sign. I mean, if he wants his sword back, then he has to do something about it, other than crying around like a bitch. Okay, let's go the other way, because there is... Oh hey, a nonsensical ladder. They really don't like staircases into their towers and shit like this. Here, you could easily, again a double tower for some reason, that you can't access this time. A double tower that the player can't get into, and I bet you there is a chimney on top of the smaller one. Like, if I die, I don't care. I want to see this. Is there a chimney? No? I'm going to die from this side. No, I'm not. There's not a chimney on top of this, so no reused asset? Question mark? Maybe there is. And I just jumped low enough. Not high enough, I mean. And again, if these towers were... Like, if you... No. If you could actually go into these towers, then you could build structures in there that you can actually get out of this tower this way, and you don't have to climb down a ladder to, again, wooden structure. Like, what? Huh? They're just too lazy to... Okay, I get it. This is a big game. They don't have infinite time, so they're doing rough things first, and then they're not doing the smaller details. It's not that important, apparently, but it's bothering me. Like, they could have done more. But if granted, it would have been more difficult, like to hollow out every single tower, and then they have to, like, design them for every structure individually, and I get it, it's... Oh, this one is actually triggered here. Interesting. So, apparently there's a trigger point here. I guess. At least that's how I imagine this to work, because I'm invisible, he can't see me, but once I got to a specific point, he started attacking. Interesting. So they're using trigger points, and this one is actually hitting the body. This time. Same sounds as before, so the other one was misplaced. But yeah, this is the structure facing the southwest, okay. And oh boy, do I have to talk about the stuff down there, which is... Ooh. I might get a bit angry there, or passionate. Let's call it passionate, not angry. Because I'm not really angry, I'm kind of disappointed. Because you don't even have to think too hard about it, right? That things make no sense at all. You just have to think just a little bit about it, just a tiny bit. But finally we can drop down to the grace, and this is just stupid. This is stupid. This is really stupid. Because I get it, there's a grace here, you have to drop down, but you also have to go back to Edgar after killing the boss. And the boss is down here, so... Let's just activate this grace. And then, at least to me, it would make sense that this wall is broken down, this part of the wall here. Like, let me, for fuck's sake. Okay, this is broken down, so the player gets access to this grace. So that you can easily go this way to Edgar. But no. No, 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 no. The player has to go up the elevator, through the courtyard, on top of the walls, and then to Edgar. What the fuck? That's just a waste of time. I've already seen the castle. There are no new enemies in there. They're not stronger, nothing. Just the same thing, and you're forcing me to do basically the whole castle twice? For a quest line? Like, what? And now the fun begins. The fun with there is no door, it makes no sense. Because this whole level is basically there is no door, it makes no sense territory. And here it's a bit like, right? This is the jump that you would make if you're just playing through the game, but it's totally the wrong jump. And this is good level design. This is good level design. I mean, the level design so far is fine, just a bit disappointing that you can't explore more of the castle itself, that you are not walking inside the walls. Like in Stormberg Castle, you could go at least in a part of the wall, right? But here you can only walk on top of the walls or beside the walls, but not inside the walls, which is a bit sad, like. But you basically want to jump down here, and this is hard to see, right? Let's say you wanna watch down what's here, then you're scanning the area, you see this wooden platform, but only here you can see the item. So you really have to look. You really have to look. Or you do what I did the first time at least, because I jumped on this roof, then I got down here, and then I looked this direction and I saw this body somehow, and then, oh, let me just teleport back and do the whole thing again, like. But yeah, this whole area makes no sense because there is no door. There is no door in this torture dungeon. At least, where here is one. But shit, where is it? Where's the tower? There's the double tower. More uses for the double tower. You could actually connect the double tower to this part, so it actually makes sense. Hello? Do I have an idea here? And this looks interesting. I really like this part, and we have to look at the... we're going to have to... What do I want to say? We have a look at this bridge from another perspective a bit later on. That's what I wanted to say. Oh, another trigger for the Scaly Misbegotten. That's why I can't ambush him. Interesting again. Here you go just... Is this? No, this is not a double tower. This is a tower with a tower on top. Because here's the tower, and here's the tower on top of it. That again has no door in it and makes no sense for a chest with a twin blade talisman, I think. Let's go down here. And this is now again a bit... This is now getting in the really stupid territory. You have to jump on this roof. And from this roof we can actually have a look at this bridge. And I really appreciate this bridge because it looks nice. I mean, they could have decided to put just wall here. And, spoiler, it actually would have made more sense to put the wall a bit lower or the bridge a bit lower here, but let's just drop down here to this annoying sound of a teardrop scarab, how they call this? Oh, of the scarab. Let's get rid of it. Because it's annoying. Again, how do you... Let's play a game. What do I want to say? when I look at this wonderful looking tower thingy here. Exactly. There is no door, it makes no sense. This is basically the whole video. There's no door, it makes no sense. But I appreciate this from a level perspective, from a level design perspective, but I personally would have put a little, like a bridge, like this big bridge over there, like a smaller version, a very small version, from this rock part into, like, to this part of the wall, and put a wall, like a door there that the player can't go through, so you can actually get to this tower part. Then maybe put a door on the tower part and make it so that you can open it, and maybe there's a treasure in there. Wouldn't that be nice? No, you don't want items. But I really like this part that you have to descend the cliffs here. Again, would have been cooler if the actual NPCs could get here, like from a world building perspective, that you can actually get here. If there were a door, like a door, just a door, please, I beg you, just put a door there. And we have a nice little jump section here into a pit of rats. And I don't know why this even exists. This, I guess I do know why, but it's a bit unpractical, right? So it's probably there to hang the cages up, like here. And so that they're exposed to the constant rain. But again, then your structures, like inside, like, let's just imagine how moldy this is. This would look like this torture chamber. But oh well, it looks nice. Let's just... Actually, how do you get down here? Like, where would you put the door? Let's just don't say, let's just not say it makes no sense, there's no door. Let's play a game where would you put the door? Like, at this tower? This double tower? Maybe. Probably not inside the torture chamber. Probably not inside here, because do you really want to go through the torture chamber every time you go to work, like to this tower part here? And this looks epic and a bit questioning, for me at least, but let's just continue. I really like that they have this little wooden bridge. Could have been a stone bridge, but I think the wooden bridge is enough here. And I have no problem with this one, because this area is quite, like, not unnecessary, but this could have been a very, let's say, very crucial part of Castle Morne, but they've decided to make it a bit boring, a bit more boring. Again, why does this structure exist? Why isn't there just a room underneath me with a staircase leading down? The answer is because they don't want to design this. They didn't want to design this one. We have a few dead children here. If you're wondering why dead children, these... what's the name of these things again? Jellyfish, right? These jellyfish are supposed to be dead children. Let that sink in. You've just a few secrets here. They could have put a big cave here, and I kind of wish they would have put a dungeon here, like a optional dungeon. Or if you've played, I really wish they had, if you've played Dark Souls 2, I really wish they had a small little, what's it called, No Man's Wharf here. Like in a cave, in a big hollowed out cave part, where you could park your ships. I really wish they had some of this aesthetics in here. Because that would have fit this area so good, because once this castle is besieged, the people inside are going to starve. They have to give up or they're starving, right? Or they have to attack and actually defeat them and, well, yeah. So it would have made sense to put a, like a wharf, something, where you can park your ships in, like a dock. Something like this, but apparently that's not the case, so... Unlucky, I guess they're going to starve when they're gonna get besieged. And this is a bit silly, but like... It's just a wall down with a kill box inside, because the player character can't swim. And this part is a bit questioning, for me at least, because here we have the boss arena, this is fine, but why exactly is this a... Like, why exactly is there a... Like, why does this structure exist, this gate structure? To a... graveyard in the ocean? Oh, and there's an item. I've never picked this item up, by the way. Oh, I've seen this for the first time. I want to know what that is. I bet it's nothing important. But I actually like this area, right? This area looks so interesting and it's kind of mysterious, right? Because, first of all, why does this actually in the world exist? Like, why does this bank here, the sand bank or whatever you want to call this, exist even? And then why is it so important that they wanted to protect it? And I mean, to be fair, this gate isn't doing much because you can just swim around it, if there's actually an entity in this game that can swim. But we have a big ass gravestone here, so someone important must have been here, right? And there are a lot of dead bodies again, like, holy hell. But yeah, the boss itself is nothing too fancy. It's the Leonie misbegotten dude, just a generic enemy. I wonder, he stole the sword, right? He stole the sword, this fancy sword thingy, right? The sword made out of swords. Why isn't he wielding it here? He's wielding a, I think it's called an iron sword, like... Where is it? Where is it? There, this thing. And usually he drops, or usually he wears Ultra Great Sword. And he drops this thing. The sword made out of swords. First, when I got this weapon, I thought this was like some sort of ugly as crystals, but if you have a closer look, it's actually made out of swords. Oh. Oh, to the hand. Oh. I don't want to wield this one. Just imagine you cut yourself with this and then instantly getting a terrible infection because it's rusty. Ooh. Actually, I've never... Where is it? It looks like... Oh, this is better. The grip. It's like a... It looks actually like intertwined snakes. At least to me. Could have been just a fancy grip, but... It's actually just some lore thing. A storied sword of Castle Morne, a Revenger's weapon. Okay. Oh, that's boring. Well, that sword looks very interesting. Where's my... Where is it? Curved sword. There. Let's just get rid of this one. The boss fight itself isn't really hard. You can parry him, by the way. Maybe not the two-handed attack. I'm not sure about the two-handed attack. and not the claw attacks that he sometimes does. But this one is very easy to parry. The one-handed attacks. And yeah, craft a blade, blah blah blah. So now that you have the blade itself, you can go back to Edgar, but you have to go the whole way. Like you have to start from the beginning, because for some reason, and I don't know why this Grace exists, actually. No, you have a Stake of America. I don't know why this Grace exists. It's not that hard, this way down there. But you have to start from the beginning, which is a bit meh. Why does this exist? And this looks also a bit silly that the waves are going, like, coming out of the sand itself. Looks a bit silly. And I want to see what this item is. Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter that I've missed this one. Doesn't really matter. But I think that's it, right? That was Castle Morne. And I've talked like 45 minutes, something like this. But I tend to talk a lot. Probably could have done this thing in 20 minutes if I've like missed half of the stuff. But as you've seen, this thing isn't really that big. It looks much bigger from the outside than it is from the inside, or than it actually is, than it looks from the inside. Let's have another look at it from here. Because that thing looks impressive, right? And we were up there. You can go, like, there's the elevator part. This is the part that you can go through and then hold behind. But first of all, missing doors. A lot of missing doors. A lot of ways that the player can't go to make this castle actually pretty short. And then they've missed the opportunity for an epic underground area here, like an underground cave system, maybe underwater, like I said, part where you can park your ships, like, and we even have a boat here, like, come on, like, come on, why? Just because it's a small area, like an unimportant area, doesn't mean you don't have to, that you can't make it epic, right? You don't have to make all of the major areas epic, only them. Because there's a lot of lost potential here. So, let's evaluate this thing, shall we? Level design. Let's start with the level design, specifically the enemy placements. Because what type of enemies do we have in Castle Morne? We have the Misbegotten, like 3 variants of Misbegotten, with the boss 4. Like the scaly Misbegottens, the ones with the cleaver, then the flying ones, and the flying ones with the bow, and then the boss at the end. And then we have a few soldiers of Godric and the foot soldier dudes, right? And with Edgar. And a Mad Pumpkinhead and a few slimes and rats. Like, not that much variety. Beside the Archer Misbegotten, yeah, the Archer Misbegotten, I kinda enjoyed this one. Although, in every playthrough, I'm like, do I really have to go through this level again? Because I for some reason, I don't enjoy Castle Morne. I don't enjoy it. But it's not bad, and there's the chimney. This time the chimney was in the bigger tower. I've seen the chimney now. So, but I have to, I try to be a bit, like, get rid of my biases, but I can't. And it's my rating. So, enemy placement, like, 5. Not bad, not good. just a 5, maybe a 6. And nothing special here, but let's just say 5.5 or something like this. And the level layout itself, like the pure ways that the player can go, is solid. This is fun, I think. The ways that you can go through this thing, while pretty straightforward. You don't have much branching paths. You have like one branching path right here, where you can go either this way and then this way, but both lead to the same outcome. Just one way rewards you with more stuff than the other one, but the other one is faster. So not much. It's a bummer that you can't get from this Grace to Edgar itself, that you have to go through the whole way here. So the level design, level layout, it's like a 6, I guess. Because it has a lot of negatives, right? A lot of negative stuff. So level design in total, like a 5.8. Let's round it up. Let's say 6. Let's be nice. Level design is 6, and then world design. The castle has a very good location. Very good location. Very easy to defend. If you have ships that you can actually flee from or get goods in, then you can actually potentially sustain a siege. Like, you can survive, you don't have to starve. But we don't have that here. There's nothing a ship can park. It's way too dangerous to put the ship on the shoreline. Actually, it's not, is it? I'm not a captain, so it might be very dangerous, because there could have been like rocks sticking out of the water, making it very difficult to navigate with a ship. But the potential is there. Then again, missing potential to put something in the rocks itself, making the whole thing a bit more interesting. The structure itself is good. I mean, the structure itself is cool looking. Again, missing doors, shit like this. That you can't actually get up again from here. This one tower that makes no sense, like. And I think they've missed the opportunity to make this area here, the boss arena, more mystic looking, like mysterious looking. Because why is there a gravestone? Who's that grave from? Like, whose grave is that? Why is the graveyard in the water? All of that, like, missed opportunities there. But I think I would give it a 6 as well. Because the layout is actually pretty cool. The layout is actually pretty cool. Like, the castle itself, it is epic. It's epic looking, but it's a big letdown once you get into it. But it's not bad. So, 6 and 6. This is my rating. Let me know how you would rate this thing, and that's it from me. Goodbye.